This is Mel Stone with Black Box Stocks. Thank you so much for joining me this evening on Trade Talk Media. Wanted to take some time and go through some activity that we saw come through the dark pool on this buy last Friday, 6-5. We saw an increase in signature prints. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll note that I post these every evening in the SPY, QQQ, and IWM. But what does that really mean? So let's take a deeper dive into what a signature print is before we go any further. A signature print is a delayed dark pool print. So you'll often see that I reference signature prints that have price levels with outside of where we're currently transacting. They are delayed. Those transactions occurred the evening prior and are not recorded to the consolidated tape until the next day. And the consolidated tape is the time and sales. They can be delayed up to 24 hours after the transaction has occurred. And that's why we're seeing a price difference. Signature prints may vary in lot size. You'll note over here that we've got 501 and 250,000. However, the biggest common denominator that I look for and that black box will prompt you to see is that they're all coming through at the same price level. So all of these, regardless of what the lot size is, are still coming through at 311.30. The black box stocks dark pool scanner will actually count these out throughout the day. So you will see that these will increase as they continue to come in and print the signature print levels. Signature prints are commonly referenced in the major ETFs. So you're going to see those come through the SPY, QQQ, IWM, and the DIA. They're common. We see them daily in most of the ETFs, especially the SPY. However, you want to pay attention when you see a significant increase in the number of signature prints that are coming through. That's more volume, and it's more volume at a concentrated price. It can be a precursor to a larger market move, and we did see that in February. So let me pull up a chart so we can take a closer look and have a little bit more visualization to what we saw. Back in February, kind of move this over here so y'all can see that. On February, we were coming at a market top. This whole melt up as it was coming in was not supported by a lot of dark pool activity. We just didn't see much coming through. On average during that time, we're seeing maybe 8 to 12 signature prints. And then on February 21st, we saw just a big increase. We had 44 signature prints come through at 337.06. That was 12.44 million. So it was a significant increase into what the daily averages were that we were seeing. So it was definitely something notable. And then we continued to see more size come in that was over a weekend. So the next Monday, we saw, again, significant levels. We had 43 signature prints on February 24th. That was 12 million shares. So we started to see a big decline. And I don't have it all listed because I didn't want to clutter the chart, but all through here, we saw increased signature prints and coming through as we declined. Now, I have a few levels down here, some of the bigger ones. I didn't want to clutter the chart with every print that we saw because there was so much activity and definitely of size. But I just want you to see that even here at the bottoms, we did have activity that kind of like supported us moving forward as we continue to make a climb into higher highs. What I'd like to know is what we're seeing that came through on Friday. So we know that they're delayed. We know that they were transacted the evening prior, and that's such a big difference because we had such a gap up come through on Friday. But we did see a shift. This last week, we've been averaging anywhere between 15 to 20 signature prints come through with not a lot of volume. We've been kind of low. So those have only added up to be about 4 to 7 million shares. But Friday, we kind of saw a change. We had 58 signature prints came through at 311.30, and that equated to 19 million shares at that level. That gives us volume by price. That's an area that was going to act as support or resistance going forward. But even more notable was what we saw come through after hours. We had very large activity come through on Friday. Let me just bounce back here so you guys can see that on the scanner. Here, we had 3 million shares, another 3 million shares, and another 3 million shares. However, there were smaller lot trades that all came through at the 319.73. So when I was able to add that all together, that was 16.4 million shares at 319.43. So we're definitely working between some bigger levels, bigger that we have seen in the last week or two. So wanting to see where we go from here. And I'm not insinuating that this is going to be a top and we move. It's just saying pay attention. Dark pools are used by institutions, so I think it's important when we kind of see a sentiment shift or we see an increase in activity that we are kind of have our eyes open and looking for, other clues within the market. I did point out to where back in February, we had activity and we definitely did decline. I don't want to just create that illusion that it's only at pullbacks that we see this kind of activity. So I did want to just highlight some dark pool activity we had back in December 16th. And now disregard everything over here on the right side of the chart. Let's really look here. That was a significant move we made going into December. I mean, we were just melting up. We saw some activity come in on December 16th after hours, again, with some unusual prints that we normally don't see coming through after hours. We had 12.5 million shares at 319.51. That just happened to be our signature print level for the next day. And we had an additional 13 million shares at that same price level. So adding those up together, we had 25.5 million shares that created a very large area at that price, the 319.51. And look where we maneuvered. We went from here all the way up into all-time highs. Yes, we did have a little bit of a pullback, but I just mentioned this activity because we certainly don't know. Dark pools are used by institutions. We don't know if they're buyers or sells, but when we see an increase of activity, we want to make sure that we're paying attention. I mentioned this earlier, but if you do follow me on Twitter, I'm Melstone31. I do record at the end of the day all of the dark pool prints that we've seen, or a snapshot if there's a lot of activity. I won't be able to get it all in one screenshot, but you can start tracking that information yourself by following me on Twitter, Melstone31. I do appreciate you guys joining me this evening and hope you all have a great trading week and stay green. Thank you.